guys, and welcome back to my channel where we're going to break down the legal world for aspiring paralegals and legal assistants. If you're in school or trying to land a job at a law firm, this is the video for you. Today we're kicking off a series on how a lawsuit begins by analyzing a real petition and medical negligence case. And this document starts the case, and we'll walk through its structure, key terms, and what paralegals need to know. So let's dive in, grab a notebook, and subscribe for more legal insights. So the first thing we're going to look at is the first page of a petition. We're going to look at the caption for right now, and then we'll go and move to the body. This is a petition or complaint in some jurisdictions. This document launches a civil lawsuit, and it's filed with the court to outline the plaintiff's case against the defendant. For paralegals, understanding a petition is critical because you'll often draft, review, or organize these documents. This petition filed in a district court is a medical negligence case involving a patient who suffered a leg amputation due to alleged healthcare failures. So we're going to look at the structure of the caption. So the first thing is the plaintiff. The plaintiff's always going to be first. It's going to be plaintiff v. defendants. Now in this case there was multiple defendants, so yes, it does look longer, but that was because there's multiple defendants. Sometimes there's just one, and it's going to look like the line of the plaintiffs. So don't get overwhelmed with that. So there is the file stamp of the district court filed. This was on April 29th. 2021. This is not going to be filed stamped by you. This is going to be file stamped by the court clerks, and I'll talk about that in just a second. And then whatever district court that you're filing this in, you're going to name that at the top with the state of, and usually you can find this in your district court looking at another document that they do have, because usually they have it on there, and it's super easy just to copy and write it down, and you'll have it for the rest of your career if you work in the same state and same jurisdiction. Now the next thing is the case number, and this is not beside the letters that say case number and judge. It's actually below it. So you do not get to pick this case number when you open a petition, which is essentially opening up a whole new other case. You're going to the court runner or whoever runs these to the courthouse. If it's you, you're going to go inside the courthouse. You're going to go to the court clerk. You're going to file it with them. You have to pay some money. I don't know with other jurisdictions, but the jurisdiction I was in, you had to pay money to open a case. And then they give you a case number for that certain case. And then they're going to assign a judge. Now, you do not get to pick the judge who it is if you like it, because they favor you, and they're not supposed to favor you, by the way. It's supposed to be they're supposed to be very equal in their opinions. So they're going to choose the docket that you'll be in, which essentially is that judge. And usually they have the stamp named on there. So the next thing is we're going to go to the body of the petition. Now, jurisdiction and venue is very, very, very important to pay attention to as a paralegal, because this is essentially giving the judge the reason why it should be heard in their jurisdiction and in their court. And I probably will talk about that in another video of how important that is, and talk about what jurisdictions and venues are. Okay, the next thing is the statement of facts, and this is the heart of the petition. And this section lays out what happened step by step to build the plaintiff's case. And here the plaintiff is a diabetic patient and had a telehealth visit for a foot wound. The physician's assistant noted a pus-filled blister and swelling, clear signs of infection, and photos showed a severe wound, but instead of an ER referral, the patient got a home health referral marked urgent. Now, all of these details are part of the case because it's going to be brought up in the trial. Now, I will talk about motions in limine and all that stuff, but essentially most of this stuff is going to be in your exhibits list. And so you might want to take a note of that when you are building this petition, is because you want to get these exhibits together. And usually, at least my attorneys listed what order they wanted the exhibits, but you have to put them together yourself. So you need to pay attention because your job might involve gathering medical records, photos, or witness statements to support these facts. And you'll also check timelines for accuracy, as delays like these can be key to proving negligence in this case. Now, the next thing is the causes of action, and this petition claims negligence, meaning the healthcare providers failed to meet the standard of care causing harm. It lists specific failures like not recognizing infection signs, delaying treatment, and skipping antibiotics or tests. And this is to hold the employer liable for employees' actions, so it's a common tactic in medical cases. The petition seeks actual damages over $75,000, and that's why it's a CJ case in this district, because it is above $10,000. And this is for medical bills, pain, and lost in wages, and punitive damages, and arguing the providers acted recklessly. Punitive damages are rare and aimed to punish conduct. For legal assistance, you'll help calculate damages by compiling bills or expert reports. You might also research similar cases to support the claim for punitive damages, which requires proving intent or gross negligence. So, the last page, and I don't know how long yours will be when you do a petition. It might be super long, it might be super short. This one was obviously 6 pages. So, but at the end, you're going to have, next to the end, I should say, you're going to have the attorney's signature, name and bar number, address, phone number, fax, and then if it's a petition, it should be attorneys for the plaintiff. And when I say next to the end, in the petition, you won't be doing this, but in other documents, once you serve the defendant and they get counsel, once they get counsel, you're going to want to do a certificate of service, and I will talk about that later. So, what can you take away as a paralegal or legal assistant? First, get familiar with petition structure. It's your roadmap for the case because it is the start of the case. Second, master legal terms like negligence, damages, and jurisdiction. Third, attention to detail is everything. In this case, a 2-day delay was critical, and your job is to spot those details in records or correspondence. Also, learn to work with sensitive documents. This petition is redacted for the privacy of my judge and me and the parties who were in this. And finally, stay organized. You might manage exhibits like wound photos mentioned here, ensuring they're properly labeled and filed. Okay, and that is our breakdown of medical negligence petition. This document sets the stage for a lawsuit, and as paralegals, you will be key players in making it happen. What did you learn today? Drop a comment below and let me know what legal topics you want next. Maybe discovery or depositions. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and share with your study group. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.